If you are a female who tries to use her gender to get the man you with arrested intentionally, they saw her throwing headphones at the man and everything. But when the police came, she act like it was the other way around.
Right.
I can't forgive you for that.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just a sucky situation all around. Like, I don't feel as if, like, she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have, like, things that she need to work on for herself, of course. And so do I, so do you, like, everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just, like, extending grace and mercy and love. And I feel as if, like, I don't try to look at obstacles either. Like, I just look at, like, situations like this to just, like, you know, take a step back, analyze yourself mentally, and then just try to see what you can do to be your best self so that you can move forward, so you can just be the type of person and the human that God needs you to be for his kingdom and for his glory. And so that's kind of how I look at the situation. And I hate the narrative too of just, like, you know what I'm saying, it's so negative. But like I said, it's just like in the state of Seattle, even talking to the cop or whatever, he was just like, it really was nothing I could do, and just like I understood. But I mean, like I said, it was just a sucky situation, but she's a human being and a great person. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, we've been able to be, like, really good teammates, like, all year. And I hate that narrative, too, because, you know, us coming together, like, we're just two, like, real dominant personalities. And she's, to me, the best female athlete in the world. Like, I see it every day. And, like, you know, for me, in my process, like I just said, like, moving training groups, a whole new environment, a whole new, you know what I'm saying, training setup, different than what I've been in the past, like, you know, 10 years of my, you know, track and field career, and transitioning and then still coming back running 9.8 and feeling like I got so much more to give, you know what I'm saying, like that's my path, that's my journey, and like being so up close and personal with her every day. And like I watched this girl like fall on the track like in February, walk it off like it was, you know what I'm saying, like a cramp, but get back up and have to take like a month and a half of just like rehab and trying to come back. And then 3 weeks later, like have a competition and like, you know what I'm saying, like she just has a lot of things going on and like a lot of emotions and forces going on inside of her that like not only I can understand, but you know nobody can, because she one-on-one and I'm one-on-one too. And so I know everything is happening in God's plan, because obviously he's one-on-one, and so that's really the main focus and the thing that I just wanted to say. And I know that like it's been a tough journey for her this year, but she gonna bounce back, and like I said, I see it every day. She's the best female athlete in the world, and she gonna be just fine. She gonna be good, and I'm gonna be good too. So it is what it is.
Women don't just put their hands on men. So what did Christian Coleman do to Sha'Carri Richardson to cause her to put her hands on him? That's what I want to know. Stop this cap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about this situation. Yo, hey, listen, man. Women don't be putting their hands on men. Women defend themselves from men. You feel me?
Now, when I saw the headline of Sha'Carri Richardson getting arrested in Seattle for domestic violence, I was like, oh, no, not my girl. Ruining her career so early on when she's already amazing, but she has such a bright future. But then you read the article, and it's just petty relationship stuff. I've always been told, because I've never been in a domestic situation, but I've always been told that if the police is called in a domestic situation, somebody's going to jail. Like, one of the two people, if it's not a poly relationship, one of the people in the party, somebody's going to jail. But for Sha'Carri, they were in the airport, or she was in the airport with her boyfriend, and they got into an argument, and she just pushed him in the back. And I guess a police officer saw it, and due to them seeing it, they arrested her for a 4th degree assault charge. I didn't even know there was a 4th degree.
That's what women do, because it's usually a man to put hands on a woman. All right? Because a lot of men don't have emotional intelligence, and they cannot regulate their emotions. And instead of talking through things, they put their hands on women. Okay? So miss me with this nonsense. All right? He obviously did something to her that made her hit him. You feel me? That's what he did. So the person that's at fault is Christian Coleman. You did?
I'm sure for many, if not most of you, your snap reaction to this gentleman making the assumption that Sha'Carri Richardson had to have been baited into that unbecoming reaction because, well, girls are sugar and spice and everything is nice, is you probably think of calling him some kind of name, some SIMP or something like that. But I'm not necessarily interested in his assumption. I'm more interested in the baseline OS. How did we get here to where two gentlemen, before they even saw the evidence, made the same conclusion that, well, it wasn't that big of a deal because, well, she's just a sweet young lady and she would never do anything unbecoming. Well, we have to go back about 35 years and you'll see where it all started.
When you start dating a guy or are getting married, you would like to think that your sister would be thrilled for you. Well, not the sisters on today's show. They say they hate the men in their sisters' lives. And now I'd like you to meet Stephanie. She says she hates her sister's boyfriend, Mario, because every time they fight, she gets dragged into it. Now, Stephanie, what's wrong with Mario?
There will be some people that will look at the thumbnail of this video and think that I'm crazy for saying that black men are the best men on the planet. But there's one particular property that you're going to notice in this conversation from 1994, 30 years ago, and today in the Sha'Carri Richardson and the Christian Coleman situation. Notice the restraint that black men are having in these situations where, quite simply, most men in most other cultures would not tolerate it.
Well, first of all, I had no problem with Mario and Teresa's relationship when they first started going together. But when Teresa got pregnant, I mean, I know they fought before she got pregnant, and Mario never hit her back. He never hit her back. It was.
That's the important thing to remember, okay? This is where it's starting. Now, pay attention to a couple of things. Of course, the host, Tempestt Bledsoe, she's going to have her opinion that's going to be rather slanted, but also listen to the crowd. Listen to what the status quo is for these kinds of relationships where the young lady is touchy-feely, if you want to put it that way, and the gentleman is trying to quell the situation. Notice what the expectations were 30 years ago.
Teresa's kind of aggressive, and and Mario never hit her back. But when Teresa got pregnant, Mario started hitting her back, and that's when I had problems with everything.
You started hitting her back when she was pregnant?
I hit her back all the time. Anytime she hit me, I hit her back. Anybody hit me, I'm gonna hit them back. Don't matter who it is.
Now, of course, as a guy, it's difficult to say this because you don't want to condone any sort of DV, and of course I don't. But if we are equal in society, then we have to get treated equally in these sorts of matters. And this gentleman is simply trying to assert this in a society some 30 years ago. And notice the pushback that he's going to get. Because remember, in each circumstance, he is the person reacting, not the person that is acting in the beginning.
No matter what a woman does, I mean, they don't never get the deserve to get hit by a woman.
So wait. You think it's all right to hit a woman, let alone a pregnant woman?
If she hit me, yeah.
So if you think that that's all right, why don't you just get out of the relationship? Obviously, you don't need to be with somebody that's going to hit you. Why don't you just...
Now, notice this. Pay attention to this particular dichotomy. Because if you change the genders and you make this same argument, you will be canceled. Today, you'll be canceled. Why didn't you just leave? What were you wearing? Etc. We understand that anyone that is an offender, the actions that you make are not going to excuse the crime that they committed. But remember, we have not gotten to gender parity or gender equity yet, because this is essentially what you hear when the shoe is on the other foot. What dress was she wearing? You should have just left. All of that is called victim shaming today. And yet and still, it's on display right here. When we heard in the beginning, the sister said he never hit her back. Every time that it started, it was from her first.
Just leave.
I don't hit her straight up. She hit me first.
It doesn't matter. Why can't you walk away? She's carrying your child.
Because she hit me. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to sit up and get my butt beat all the time.
Why are you with a woman that's hitting you? Maybe.
Ooh, see that? See that? Oh my gosh. It is amazing to see the double standard. If you said this to a woman at that same time, 30 years ago, you would be canceled even then. You'll be canceled today if you said it to a woman today. But if the man is the victim, what happens? This.
You shouldn't be together.
I love my woman. I love my woman.
Well, if you all are hitting each other.
That's her. I hit her back, though.
I mean, there's no comparison between a pregnant woman and an able-bodied man. I don't feel that a man
There's
should be...
never a fair fight between a man and a woman.
I mean, even if she had attacked
It
him,
won't get hit back.
even if she attacked him, he can hold her and walk away and come back when she calms down.
You know,
There's no
let me clear this
excuse.
up just for 1 second, Mario. I think it's wrong for her to hit you. I don't think anyone should be hitting anyone. But I really think it goes to a completely different level when a man starts laying hands on a woman. Because...
If she lay hands on me, it ain't right. So she gonna get hit back.
So you just gonna be not right too. You just gonna be as ridiculous and silly as she's being. Is that what you're gonna do?
She hit me, she gonna get hit back. That goes for anybody.
Go ahead.
I have to tell you something, but I don't think it's right. Because when a woman is pregnant, they go through a lot of changes. I mean, a lot.
Well, that's
you know, maybe it could be because she's pregnant, you know?
She ain't gotta hit me.
I think you're...
What are you gonna do? How old is your child?
My son?
Yes.
6 months.
What if your child is 1 and say your child hits you?
That's different. That
How is that different?
That can't compare it to a woman.
Why can't it?
His head don't hurt.
Oh, so this woman is just knocking you to the floor,
He
huh?
don't, okay, listen. He don't.
It is amazing, is it not? It is a time capsule to the amount of, lack of care for men's issues. If a man is getting battered and he has a child and he wants to stay in that child's life, what choices does he have? If he splits apart, it's going to be extremely difficult for this man to see his son. But if he stays, he's going to have to deal with a young lady who has, quote unquote, happy hands. What is the recipe for him to get what he wants? There is no easy answer, because if it goes to court, she's getting that child. And if she starts crying in court, he's going to jail.
He don't know what he's doing. He don't know what he's doing. She know that's wrong. If she hit me, she gonna get hit back.
Be quiet, don't I? Come on. Go ahead.
It takes a real man to walk away rather than hit her.
Well, it take a real woman not to hit me.
All right. We've gone on about this a lot. Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to tell me specifically what other problems that you see is going on in your sister's relationship. But before we start that out, let me bring Teresa out here and hear what she has to say about all this. Teresa, please come out and join us. What else is wrong with your sister's relationship in your opinion?
Okay, I think that when Teresa and Mario have fights, she takes him back because he'll do stuff like buy nice things. And don't get me wrong, he takes very good care of the baby that they have.
Yes.
But it seems to me like he's trying to buy her love.
To make
like
up
she'll
for
buy,
it?
she's gotten, for Christmas he bought her a TV, VCR entertainment set, brand new end tables, gold leather coats. And I mean, that's beautiful. You know, that's really beautiful. But I don't feel that should be used as a compensation for doing some of the wrong things that he did.
Are you just...
Now, I want you to pay attention to this particular line of questioning, because she doesn't start the line of questioning with, why are you the aggressor in the relationship? She evades that question very systematically. It goes straight to, is he a good guy?
in this relationship because of what he gives you?
No, I'm in a relationship because I love him.
Why are you in love with the man that you're getting into physical fights with and is hitting you when you're pregnant?
I forgave him for the stuff he did when I was pregnant. Things got better after I had the baby.
But when...
Now notice, the first question was not, why did you hit him before you got pregnant? The question was, why are you in a relationship where you're hitting on each other, which is alluding to the fact that he's the aggressor.
You all are getting into physical fights. You're hitting him and he's hitting you. Where's the love in that? And you're doing it now in front of a child.
We're not really fighting now that the baby's been born. It's more verbal than physical.
Have you ever sought counseling because of this?
No, but Mario agreed to going to counseling for our problems. Yes, you did.
I'm not going for that.
Not going? No? Okay.
But if she hit me, I'm gonna hit her back.
So, how does your sister, if this is the relationship...
That's really not fair, Mario.
No, it's not.
Because he's like, what, 6'4", and she's, what, 5'2"? That's no comparison. He can beat her any day of the week.
If she know
that's no
fair, she shouldn't hit
comparison.
And that should be the end of the argument. Don't hit him, he won't hit you. If he's the aggressor, that's a problem. We understand that part of it. But none of this conversation, even from the sister or from the host, is why don't you stop hitting the man? Instead, the argument is you're a man, you're stronger, you shouldn't be hitting her. So this leads us to where I say black men are really the only men on the planet where we're told that if someone hits you, you're supposed to eat it. Because that's essentially what's being said here. But that age is over.
There are women who are so bold with who they are, they try to send you to jail. I want to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. So this woman was in the airport with her boyfriend, who is also a track and field star.
I thought she was homosexual.
Well, you know, they switch up.
Right, yeah.
She had a boyfriend. Long story short, they got into a disagreement. She tried to get him arrested in the airport. And the only reason she didn't get him arrested, because when you're in the airport, everything's under surveillance. So when the police looked at what happened, they arrested her.
I honestly do believe that black men are the best men in the world, specifically when it comes to being good mates, because we grow up in an environment where one interaction with the police can change your life. So you live your whole life around that, especially when you're dating someone. Anytime that you get into a kind of confrontation, if you will, at the back of your mind is if this woman starts crying and calls the police, it could change my life. And we have to live our lives on that principle that if we have one lapse, it could end with us spending the rest of our lives in jail. And so when that is your baseline operating system, you know you have to be gentle no matter what.
After I got this information, I determined in my mind, okay, we done gave her chances. She had a girlfriend. Okay. We still rooting for her because she can run track good. We root for her. She had the allegation. We like, okay, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe she shouldn't have got kicked off the Olympic team because of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? But this thing here is something that I see too often, where you try and get the male that's with you in trouble with the authorities because you know most of the time you have leverage over the male when you say something's wrong. I don't like people who do that in this society. If you are a female who tries to use her gender to get the man you with arrested intentionally. They saw her throwing headphones at the man and everything. But when the police came, she act like it was the other way around.
Right.
I can't forgive you for that. You can't be given a pass no longer in the eyes of the people who, because this young man could have messed up his career. He wasn't kicked off the Olympics for weed or nothing like that. But what if he'd got arrested for a domestic?
Over with.
What if it wasn't no camera around and she was acting like that? Then when the police come, she get the playing victim. Can't respect you. Can't respect you. You got out of pocket. You tried to act like somebody else was getting out of pocket. Thank God that brother didn't get in trouble. Brother, I don't know your name. I apologize. I'm talking about y'all business. I don't know your name. But he's a track star type guy. Get away. Get gone. Get gone. That's an unforgivable sin when somebody tries to get you jammed up.
If I don't accomplish anything else in this video, I want to accomplish this one feat. This gentleman's name is not Sha'Carri Richardson's boyfriend. His name is Christian Coleman, and he's a very decorated sprinting athlete. He has been participating in indoor-outdoor Olympic sprints, and he has a decorated past of a lot of different accomplishments, which often get glossed over because if you are not a hardcore track and field fan, you're only watching during the Olympics, and that one time out of every 4 years, you think, well, if you're not there, then you're nobody, which is simply not true. That said, a gentleman with a decorated past like Christian Coleman, outside of one particular instance where he missed a drug test, which cost him a chance at the 2020 Olympics, he has no marks on his resume, and he does not deserve to be labeled an ABUSER guy because of hearsay, especially now that we're lucky enough to have cameras, because if we didn't have cameras, that would have been his career. And we know this. It doesn't matter if you can prove it or not. Once you get labeled the kind of man that this might have labeled him as, you lose endorsements, you probably lose your chance to compete on the national team, and pretty much your life changes on the day that the allegations arise. Luckily enough for him, there are cameras there. But what happens when they aren't? The reason why I say black men in America are the best men in the world is because we have to be. We have to be on guard with our emotions 24/7. We can't lapse because we know that when we make one mistake, someone might start crying and the authorities show up and that's it, we're done. If we are brave enough, like the gentleman on the Tempestt Bledsoe show, to push back or fight back, that is playing in the most dangerous waters a man can play in, because one crying phone call to the police, that's it. So when I say black men are the best men in the world, we have no choice but to be. We have to keep our emotions in check. We have to always be thinking of the environment around us. We have to be thinking about the emotional state of the woman we're with and how to let her down easily and how to manage her emotions. These are probably things that other men don't even have to think about. As a matter of fact, in most countries on the planet, when a young lady raises her fist at a man, there are no forces in between him and her to prevent him from responding to her physically, which is the opposite of what happens with black men in America. Even if there is no response without a black man, just a crying phone call, we throw black men in jail for breakfast in America, and we figure out the details later. And so how do black men respond? By controlling our emotions and understanding the women's emotions that we're with. And you cannot tell me that that does make us the best mates on the planet. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.